welcome back to ERA Sales Academy. Step 4 on our road to great. And the most important thing that we've got to do is make sure that we deliver, and we deliver on promise. And how do we do that? We make sure that every experience that the prospect or client has with us is of great value to them. And we need to understand that each time we do go to see somebody, that we deliver value. That we're not focused ourselves purely on what the outcome for us is, but on what the outcome for the client or prospect is. Each time they have a contact with you, are they having an experience of value? Because it's really important that they do. One of the traps as a salesperson is to be very focused on what's in it for you, what the outcomes for you are. When we hear clients mention numbers as far as their turnover goes, we can't help but do calculations in our head of what that might mean from a commission perspective. And what we want to do is turn that a bit on its head. Let the commission, sales, outcomes take care of themselves. If we have a focus that each time we interact with a client, they have an experience of great value, then they'll continue to want to have experiences with us, to have us come back. So whether it's the first meeting or the last meeting, if each time we make sure they've had a great experience, then they'll continue to want to re-see us and come back. So regardless of a yes or no at the end of the day, we'll have a client for life, because they'll constantly want to get more of that value that you continue to deliver. It's really important that once we do that, we also explain why now. We mentioned in the last section the urgency that we need to create. One of the things you should be able to do constantly is explain to a prospect or a client why now. Why should they act now? What's different in the market? What's different in their business? What's different in ERA? What creates the urgency to act now and not in 6 months or 12 months? We want them to do it now, and when they've completed a project with us, we want them to move on to the next one. So your task, and what you'll learn at ERA Sales Academy, is how you can create that urgency and constantly hold out to a prospect, why now? Why should they act now? It might be legislative. It could be based on mergers and acquisitions occurring out in the marketplace. It could be technology. Whatever that reason is, it's really important to say, why do it now? Why not do other projects that many people will be bringing across their table? Why choose our project, and why choose that project now? We want to deliver our message with passion, with urgency, and with cognizance. Once you have a strong belief, then it's very easy to make sure that you deliver that with passion. In fact, one of the exercises you can undertake with your group, whoever else you're watching this video with, will be to sit around and have a chat and use the following template. Talk to one another and say, start a sentence with, we believe at ERA that. Complete that sentence. And I am passionate about ERA because. If you can do that, it's a really great way to start a conversation with people, because it quickly develops their trust that you believe what you believe. Now it's just a case of getting them to believe. If you've got that passion, you don't sound salesy, which a lot of people are scared of. It sounds genuine. If you've got a belief and you're passionate about it, get that across and you'll embody it. You'll physically feel it, you'll hear it in tone in the words that you choose. So be passionate. Have some urgency. Passion itself almost drives urgency, because you're so keen to see the success of the prospect or the client. If you're passionate about their success, in itself that creates urgency, because you want them to get that benefit as soon as possible. And we want to be cognizant. Again, we want it to be about the prospect or the client. We want to see their success. It is only through their success that we're successful. So we want to make sure that we're constantly thinking about the impact to them. Not just of the result of using ERA, but the impact of their decision internally. What will the challenges they face be internally in appointing ERA? What are their challenges generally internally? What's going on in their world that you can be cognizant of, and make sure that as you put forward proposals and suggestions for projects, that you're cognizant of the value to that person and the challenges that they'll have putting them in place. If you've got that passion, urgency and cognizance, again, it's very attractive to a prospect. Because primarily it's not about you. Yeah? Our core message is, don't be focused on ERA, we want to be focused on the client. We've got a short amount of time when we see people. In the first meeting, maybe 45 minutes to establish a qualification. Is this a prospect that we want to do business with? To give them enough interest and create that need, identify the need that we can actually sell to, create trust and build rapport. There's a lot of things that we need to be able to achieve. And the more time spent focused on us and internally and explaining ourselves, rather than understanding the client is opportunity lost. So first and foremost, it's not about us. It's about the client and the prospect. The more time we spend focused on them, the better. And the other thing is, it's not about the money. Whilst our name, Expense Reduction Analyst, may lead us to think that it's very much about the funding and the money and what we return to them, it's a hygiene factor in the sale. So to say it's necessary for us to win the business is to save some money, but it's not what wins us the business. So we need to take the focus off the money and off the savings for our own sake, because the more time we spend on savings, the less time we spend uncovering other needs that may exist for that client or prospect. We want to move them from focus of financial gain and return to profit to how can we fix, avoid or accomplish something for that client. We can improve processes, we can reduce billing, we can improve technology, we can strengthen contracts. There's so many things we can do as well as saving money. That's where we want to find. So that when we go back to give a proposal, what they will buy is those fixes, the accomplishments that you achieve for them. The side effect will be the financial gain. In essence, we want to tell a story of not here, we'll provide you with this additional cash flow. We really want to talk about the fact that what we're going to do is fix problems, and the side effect of that will be additional cash flow. In doing so, we much more bring the client back to problems that will be solved for them, not simply providing them with some funding to go and solve more problems. It's a small change, but a significant one. A focus on how we assist the client and produce solutions rather than purely a financial outcome. At ERA, about 70% of the prospects go dark. That is to say that we've put forward a proposal, we had a great meeting, and when we think we're about to win a new piece of business, suddenly there's no return phone calls, no emails, they've dropped off the radar. At ERA Sales Academy, what we want to do is ensure that that doesn't happen. Put in place some strategies and conversation points along the way so that the whole way through the process you're in charge, that you know where you stand. And we want to minimise the risk of prospects going dark. In fact, if we had one extra meeting every 2 months and we moved from having 2 in 10 become successful to 3 in 10 win ratio, we'll have a 125% increase in sales. That's such a large number through some simple strategies, and that's what we want to make sure we do. So to do that, we want to maintain control. There's been some very famous experiments on human behaviour and how we respond to authority figures. It's really important that with the core belief that we have, the confidence that that gives us, that we can sit down at a table with our prospect and maintain control of that sales process from start to finish. Ultimately to a yes or a no, not yet. To do so, we need some skills and some strategies, some communication tools to make sure that we maintain control and understand our position all along the way, and that each of us, the prospect and us as a salesperson, make commitments to one another that we stay true to, and that we ask for those commitments. So again, at ERA Sales Academy, we'll work on how we can maintain control from prospecting through the presentation of a proposal through to a final outcome, a yes or a no, not yet.